and welcome back to our fifth installment of Knowledge for Awareness project initiated by Yogakshema Rehabilitation and Wellness Center. This project is now in its fifth segment, and this is going to be the last one for this round of discussion that we have had. From our first episode to our fourth episode, we started off by exploring aspects of nature and nurture, which brought in the aspect of environment. And within this environment, we understood about inner and outer environments and how our mindset, our belief system, and the latest neuroscientific aspects such as neuroplasticity of the brain all come into play in terms of how we can evolve through these environments that we are thrown into. Many a times we have some extent of control over it, and there are other times when we may not have any control over these aspects. And under such circumstances, how do we accept it? Accept it with serenity and mindfulness. And in the last episode, the fourth episode, we discussed a lot about support group meetings, the role that sort of like a support environment plays in our life, in helping us achieve the goals that we want, in protecting us from moments when we feel demotivated, when we feel lost. In this final segment, we are going to dive into a very profound aspect of relationships. Dr. Vastare, we have come towards the final episode, but I want to actually bring out a very deep question that I am sure a lot of our viewers have also been tussling with throughout this journey, and especially in our previous episode, we spoke about the importance of company. You emphasized an important point, though it was briefly mentioned, it caught my attention. You said that many a times your own near and dear ones may not be the right support system that you need. And that brought this thought, and that's my question to you today. How do we balance such relationships to begin with and eventually grow towards harmonizing things?
Another very deep question, Praveen. My answer is going to be a question for ourselves. We need to ask a question before we can understand and get the answer. We need to ask ourselves, am I trying to just survive through this situation, just adjust, deal with this, or do I really want to evolve through whatever I'm happening? Again, there is no right or wrong. Both are correct.
Yeah.
But the way we deal with it will be entirely different depending on the question that we ask. Am I going to survive through this, or do I want to evolve through this? I don't need to say anything about if we are going to survive through this. Everything what we have talked about will hold good, will suffice. And we just have to keep repeating it again and again and again until, if we are lucky, to be able to come out of the situation. However, if we say to ourselves, no, I have dealt with this, I have adjusted, I have put up with this, off and on, now I really want to evolve. If our answer is, I would like to evolve from this situation, from the same people that I work with, I live with, then it's a totally different approach altogether. once we say to ourselves that we would like to evolve from this, then there is no question of balancing. Balancing is at a survival mode level. It's all about harmonizing. We cannot leave anybody out, any situation, any work, none of that. Then it is not about how do we harmonize. That comes naturally. It's all about taking everybody along with you. Once you have that clear picture of that I would like to evolve, and over a period of time, either the colleagues, the friends or your loved ones, everybody will be able to understand. If they are not able to understand, then the onus is back on us.
Yeah.
How do we make ourselves go deeper in understanding ourselves? What is this evolving?
Yeah.
So that others would understand.
Right.
Once others understand, then still it is not a piece of cake. Then the real progress, real changes will begin from that stage. And it's a process.
Yeah.
It's a process until our last breath, because as I keep saying, this evolution, process of evolution is a dynamic one, and it is happening on a moment-to-moment basis, and it's lifelong process.
Yeah.
We cannot leave anybody out, and then, or in other words, we cannot make somebody unhappy to be happy for ourselves.
Yeah.
We cannot put somebody else down to feel good about ourselves.
Right.
We will be able to not just cognitively understand these things, but be able to put this into action. And I try and can assure you that it won't happen overnight.
Of course.
And it cannot happen overnight, then it's again just false positive. It's just our feelings and emotions, which are very important. The feelings are the fuel for our action.
True.
But that has to be backed by a cognitive approach, by an intellectual approach. The two being together, an intellectual approach with the right feelings, because feelings are the fuel for our action.
True.
For this knowledge series, knowledge has to be converted into actions. Then it is nothing but harmonizing. As I said, path becomes the goal, journey becomes the destination. The relationships, what I mean by our friends, our family, our colleagues, whoever is in our life, they become our source, they become our means, and they are the end that we see how we are evolving. This is where we will have our own yardstick. Are we being more kind to our own people? Are we at peace to begin with? And are we being more kind? Are we more loving to everybody around us, so that the life happens in a beautiful way, with loving kindness, with peace within, and kindness without, and love as the foundation. This can only happen through the right knowledge when we put it into action.
Thank you so much. And literally words fail to express the gratitude that is there. I'm sure not only, I'm speaking not just for myself, but I'm sure each one of our viewers have, for the deep thoughts and knowledge that you have shared with us. These tidbits, these words of wisdom and experience that you have shared, I'm sure will be the seeds of change in many hearts and minds who have been listening to us, attending our workshops, and many more that are yet to come. So thank you so much. So friends, in this final episode, I have tried to bring to a full circle this journey that we set out upon by starting from an environment, an environmental perspective, understanding nature and nurture, and exploring different facets of this environment. In this final episode, we have come to one of the most profound and important component of our environment, which is our relationships. And when the relationships that we have are not supportive or conducive to the path that we have chosen, the question we are faced with, how do we balance these relationships? And not just balance, but eventually harmonize, because as Dr. Vastare mentioned, the question we are faced at an even more deeper level is whether we want to survive or would we want to evolve. And this question of survival and evolution is something that has been a part of not just each one of our individual journey, but the collective journey of humanity itself. And our answer has always been to evolve. There are going to be moments when we just want to survive through certain phases. There are a lot of tools and techniques that you will find available in several workshops and many other videos that are available on Yogakshema channel as well as in other channels. But the process of evolution that we have laid particular emphasis to in this episode is one that needs a deeper understanding of ourselves and of everyone around us. And not just understanding, but it requires a deep and profound sense of compassion and love, because harmony is about bringing things together, is about carrying others together with us. And when we understand our relationships from that perspective, then we are not going to stop till we have taken every one of us in this journey. There may be moments when we understand that someone is not willing, we cannot change others, but the onus at that point is to dive deeper within our own self. Because the more and more purity of intention and purpose that exists, the more and the more it will draw everyone along. And that is truly what is meant when Gandhiji said that you have to be the change that you want to see in others. And in that path of compassion and love, nobody is going to be left behind. And that is true harmony that we can achieve. It is long, it is arduous, it is effortful, but it is worth it. It is beautiful because it is not an end point that we want to reach. In that path, the joy that it emanates in toiling towards carrying each one along with you becomes the most meaningful and purposeful aspect of everything that you are doing. That beauty and the joy that emanates from it adds more vigor and energy that is required for us to persist and persevere and have faith for however long it takes. In fact, for as long as we are breathing. This is the reason why from centuries together, wise people have been saying that the people who you run into are not there mere by chance. You can learn from each and every one. And what we learn from each and every one as we grow and go on this path of harmony is that we have to evolve. We learn kindness, we learn compassion, and we learn and experience love. And that is always going to make us feel grateful, filled with gratitude. The same gratitude that I would like to express to each one of you today for being a part of this journey. The project that we have started through these video series is not a small one. It is, I hope, going to last for a long time, and I wish that more and more people are going to be part of this journey. Thanks for giving Yogakshema the opportunity to be a part of your life through our message and through our work. As always, I invite you to share your thoughts, your feedback with us. If you have any questions, if there are any other concepts you want us to discuss in more detail, please write to us at yogakshema.info@gmail.com. Do not forget to share this channel, subscribe to this, spread the word, and bring on more beautiful, wonderful companies such as yourself on this scientific, evolving, and ultimately compassionate and joyful journey that we are on. Thank you so much.